ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for being with us here on this Thursday, 12th day of June. We are doing it live today, PJ Show on this Thursday.
Do it live!
It is a concert on the Common Thursday, make up from last week's rain out, and it'll be Landslide, the Ultimate Fleetwood Mac tribute band. And they will be out at the Town Common tonight at 6. We're going to check in with our friend Mark Miller from the Morning Rush, 107.9 WNCT, for a little concert primer later on. Also, the College World Series is tomorrow, and Wags will be with us, and looking forward to that, as Jonathan Wagner will be in the fold today. Earlier today, we did interview the commissioner of the American Athletic Conference. Posted the video on our socials, so it is on Twitter. It's on the 94.3 The Game YouTube page. You can link it there. It's on Facebook. So if you've not watched that interview in its entirety, you certainly can. We're going to air it on the radio side of tomorrow's show, so it'll be our featured content for tomorrow, and looking forward to that. A couple of interesting things said from the commissioner that kind of piqued my interest. Before it was announced by the conference, he announced that the media days for football, which is right around the corner, are going to be on the 24th and 25th of July in Charlotte. So the city of Charlotte will be hosting, after the ACC media days, AAC, or American Athletic Conference media days for football. We'll see. I'm hoping we'll be able to do some content from out there, but anyway, more on that as we get a little further up the road. Because really, football, more and more you get after July 4th, and maybe through the first couple of weeks post July 4th, and everything ramps up and it becomes all about getting football on the brain. So especially with an early start of games starting in August this year, and the first Pirate game taking place in August. So all of that to come. That was interesting. The other thing, a couple other notes, and again, we'll have the interview in its entirety tomorrow, but a couple of other things that kind of stood out to me in the interview from the line of work I'm in, the deal running through 33. Deal running through 33 with the American and ESPN. I think we knew that, but a good reminder that there's actually a date on it. It's 2033. Tim Pernetti is a pretty sophisticated guy when it comes to those sort of matters. They have challenged every member institution to upgrade their facilities so they can do linear games from the control room. With East Carolina, they still have to bring the truck in. The upgrades have not quite hit that level yet, although they do a phenomenal job with the ESPN Plus broadcast. Don't get me wrong. Kyle and Mike and Kyle and then Will Bailey back in the day all do a fantastic job with that. The other part of this is, other institutions getting their facilities up to speed where they could inevitably invest and then do linear games. And by that means like the actual on the television, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, that kind of thing, non-ESPN Plus games. So that was discussed. There is no movement, according to what the commissioner said, to remove the baseball tournament out of the current ballpark in Clearwater, Big Hair Ballpark. That was being kind of murmured about in recent weeks in the latter part of the season. It was kind of told to me third hand, but it had been discussed apparently with some other people. And I'm not saying it hasn't been discussed. If it has been, either the commissioner has a heck of a poker face, or it is one of those situations where he is saying, we're going to keep it right now in Clearwater. And, I do think the same reason you've seen this championship moved out of the Dickies Arena in Texas, which is a first-class and world-class facility, but it just really well, a neutral site venue like that for basketball, kind of cavernous, probably too many seats for the needs of the conference. And that's why you see them taking it to on-campus facilities for both the men's and women's basketball. Similarly, in Birmingham next year, they'll run concurrently or run like they have traditionally at the Dickies Arena with the women, followed by the men's tournament. And the same thing when they go to Tampa in a couple of years. I did ask him about Charlotte as a possibility. Atlanta was one that at the time I didn't really get a chance to ask him about, and I kind of wish now I had. But with Charlotte as a possibility to host that, because you do need a hub airport, and Charlotte is indeed that, you're looking at the ACC tournament being in Charlotte, so it just wouldn't make sense to do that there. I know the CIAA is not in Charlotte, but that's also played a lot earlier in February than the ACC tournament is. Discussed a myriad of things. We'll have it for you tomorrow. I'm looking forward to bringing you that conversation on the radio side tomorrow. I think it'll be enjoyable, and I think it'll make a lot of headlines out of that conversation. But if you want to go ahead and get a primer on it again, the video portion of that is on our social medias, and you can check it out. All right, let's welcome in Dom Kasolki.
I think we're going to lose.
He didn't think he was gonna be back anytime. I guess you lost today, Dom, because you've drawn the short straw and have to be producing the show today.
No, I'm happy to be here. Sometimes I'm working the concert, but I'm happy to be here today because I'm working Talk of the Town in the morning with you and Henry tomorrow. So got the earlier shift. Don't have to be out as late.
Let me tell you, like you've never been out late and come in early the next morning, Dom. Come on, I'm not naive.
Yeah,
you young kids, come on.
I'm not young anymore. I'm over 21.
Well, all the more reason to stay out late. 86 right now in Eastern North Carolina, feels like 91. It could be worse out there. I just had come in a little bit ago from being out, and it wasn't oppressively hot like it's going to be apparently the next few days, but it's still pretty warm out there. So you did all right, Dom. You get the I'm assuming the air conditioning is working in the control room today.
Half the time it's not, but it's working today.
Yeah, it's working today, so you're in good company there.
Yeah, you need it during the summer.
All right.
My goodness.
No, you do, and that's usually when it goes out is when it gets hot.
Yep.
So, a couple of updates in the world of Pirate baseball. We've talked about players that are going to, obviously be a part of the program through the transfer portal. A couple of D2 guys added. Pilk told you about that yesterday. Infielder Alex Boucher announcing his return this year or next year. Of course, graduated from South Central, started his career at ODU, and then announced he's returning. Davin Whitaker, ECU's baseball page, announcing that he will be back this upcoming season. So there is that, as a couple of Pirates will be back in the lineup. And that's the in vogue thing now, to announce you are coming back. So that is something that continues on. We told you about ECU hiring a new assistant basketball coach yesterday. So that is something that is continual on the table. We'll try to get Coach in at some point. Maybe we will, maybe we will not. Sad to learn this afternoon about the passing of the great Charlie Gaddy. Charlie Gaddy, if you don't know, was and is kind of the dean of 6 o'clock, 11 o'clock news anchors in the state of North Carolina. For years, the anchor at WRAL, and apparently he has died, and that is certainly unfortunate and very sad. Charlie, a great, a really good man, and a really fantastic human being. I had a chance a few years ago to meet him, and he was quite a gentleman, and even then was Natalie attired and dressed to the nines. Good fella, and certainly sad to learn of his passing, dead at the age of 93, Charlie Gaddy. And Greenville was one of those markets, along with Kinston, where I grew up, that it got the outlay of Channel 9, of course, over the air, but also it got into the cable carriage when cable and local news affiliates were a big thing. So That happened, and so you're very familiar with Charlie Gaddy growing up, and had the occasion to meet him a few years ago when working at WPTF. So again, Charlie Gaddy passing at the age of 93. All right, nothing to report down at the Big Rock. I think there have been some Marlins hooked today, but they've been released. There was a catch that a young lady battled the fish for several hours last night, and they had the weigh-in at the Big Rock Landing around 9 o'clock. Dom will give you details coming up in the update, but that is the leader in the clubhouse, and at last check remains the same. So we'll update that for you as we move along. Dom will also look at the U.S. Open leaderboard. Of course, Oakmont is proving to be a challenging track. All right, in an effort to save my voice, let's hit a break. We'll come back, and we'll welcome our pal Jonathan Wagner from On3 to preview the College World Series in Omaha, which gets underway tomorrow.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed, meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
Are you ready to tackle those yard and garden projects? Come by East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, your local Coyote dealer, and check out their great selection of residential and commercial Coyote tractors. From zero-turn mowers to compact tractors to skid steer loaders, they've got you covered. Some with 0% financing for qualified buyers. Stop by your hometown Coyote dealer, East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, across from the Pitt County Fairgrounds, or online at ectfleet.com. East Carolina Tractor and Fleet. We dig dirt.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout Eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
Omaha and the College World Series getting underway. The Elite Eight of college baseball. The always elite Jonathan Wagner of Bucks on the Pond fame. Jeez. I feel like it's Friday. I'm wishing it were Friday. Bucks on the Pond podcast fame and also On3 joins us here. Wags, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. It's about to be the best week of the year. I think I've said that each of the last 2 weeks, but Omaha is great. It's fun, and this year's field I think is going to be a fun one too. So I'm fired up.
Is the Murray State phenomena and being in Omaha, and I mean, look, they've shown up. They're not exactly in like matching travel. I mean, they have all different color shorts on and T-shirts. I mean, it's a very unassuming look going in. I guess they're just to say, look, we'll go with what we got. We'll dance with who brung us in a sense, and they're staying loose, I suppose. But is that I mean, put that in perspective. How I guess unlikely this is, and how I mean, what could you compare it to? I'm just trying to think of improbable Final Four runs. Maybe George Mason, VCU back in the day. I mean, but this seems even a little further fetched than that.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at the bracket and let alone winning that regional 2 weekends ago, first of all, nobody predicted Murray State. And then even last week, I think there were some people that were kind of riding the hype and saying, oh, they can beat Duke. But for the most part, it was still Duke's probably going to advance and make it to Omaha. But, you know, here we are. And they remind me a lot of the Oral Roberts team from a couple of years ago. And so you see one of these schools every once in a while. But to me, I think this comes at a perfect time because, you know, we've had the conversation before, you know, what does the future look like for college sports? Are these types of runs going to be less and less moving forward? And I think Murray State kind of doing it now as things are changing kind of shows that, you know, maybe we have some time left with these types of Cinderella runs. And, you know, they're legit. Everybody's counted them out. And who knows, maybe they're capable of doing it again. And, you know, anything can happen when you get to the postseason. And Murray State has proven that time and time again.
You know, a lot has been made of the fact that they don't play in a glitzy, glamorous stadium. They play in, what is it, an 800-seat stadium or field, more appropriately. It kind of looks like old Harrington Field from ECU back in the day. And there's, you know, their coach only makes this amount of money, and the players have to pull tarp. And, I mean, it's very, very old school in a lot of ways, college baseball, really in another era in a lot of ways. Coach having to mow his own grass and all of that. But, you know, I was talking today to Mike Mullis, and, you know, the Duke job is open. I think there's a job open at Brown. San Diego State is open. There's really not a whole lot of anywhere for the opportunity for the coach to maybe cap. Not that he's looking to do this, but, you know, I mean, maybe it's a chance to maybe strike while the iron's hot. And they can put up some new padding on the fence or something at Murray State. Maybe he get a little a raise and maybe get some improvements to the field there.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's really not a lot of jobs that have opened this year, at least not yet. And I don't really expect there to be that many more. But, you know, maybe he can use one of those jobs. I don't know what his, you know, background is too far back. I don't know if he's a lifer there or what. But those jobs are open. Maybe he can use it as, you know, hey, all you got to say is I got a phone call. And if you get a phone call and you can kind of angle that to get some resources, then I think you should. But it's fun. Again, you're always going to have these types of stories every time a team like Murray State gets to Omaha. And it happens every time that we see a run like this. And who knows? I mean, I don't expect him to really get another job, just given that there's not many open right now. Right. But you never know. Someone could see this and say, you know, we could probably save a little money on our current coach and bring this guy in for less. And so who knows?
Who knows? And who knows what will happen if they win the whole thing, which, I mean, look, anything can happen. Who thought they'd be here? How do you like the matchup with UCLA? Bryant Ward, of course, there's your ECU connection, assisted at UCLA with the Bruins. Greenville connection as well. How do you like the matchup against the Bruins for Murray State in the opening game for them?
Yeah, I really like that UCLA team. I think they can kind of do a bit of everything. And they had some ups and downs during the regular season, but they still want to share the Big Ten regular season title. So UCLA's good. They have some pitching. They have the bats. So UCLA's good. UCLA is a team that I wouldn't sleep on that side of the bracket. I know Arkansas and LSU are, you know, the headliners there, but UCLA is capable of doing it as well. So I would probably pick UCLA to beat Murray State in that first game. But again, like you said, who knows? Never say never.
You know, obviously, I think two of the other better stories here, and the Murray State story is remarkable, but Coastal Carolina getting there in Kevin Schnall's first year, they certainly have the pitching. I guess the question would be, do they have the offense? But I would think if you have LSU and Arkansas as the kind of favorites out of the SEC, to me, Coastal is maybe right there, just right behind them. And a lot of it is because of the depth of starting pitching.
Yeah, absolutely. And this type of format, regionals, super regionals, or back into this format in Omaha, then it sets up for the teams that have pitching depth and starting pitching depth. And Coastal has that, maybe just as good as anybody outside of Arkansas. So Coastal is a very, very strong contender to make it out of that side of the bracket. And I'm assuming we'll make a pick later, so I'll save my pick until then. But I would not count them out. And I do think their bats, they are good enough. They might not blow you away every game, but they're capable of beating you in multiple different ways, as we saw in the regional. So I really like that Coastal team. They match up well. They're perfectly built for postseason baseball, that's for sure.
And I think what Oregon State has done is pretty remarkable, given how they had to couch their schedule this year and didn't play that many games at home. They've almost played as many postseason games at home as they did in all of the regular season, about half as many. So when you look at Oregon State, is that a team that you could maybe see getting to the championship series?
Yeah, absolutely. That first game between Oregon State and Coastal is a big one. And, who wins that game Coastal might face Arizona. I can't remember off the top of my head, actually. But either way, Oregon State they might not have the top end pitching depth as some of the other teams do, but Oregon State can hit. And they can hit very well from top to bottom in that lineup. They have a potential number 1 overall pick, probably another potential first-round pick in that lineup. So Oregon State's good, and people are sleeping on them, I think. They have been all year. And what they did playing an independent schedule gained my respect, that's for sure. And I think they're a team not having a conference tournament to play in. I think you saw maybe that sometimes it's not a bad thing. And for a team like that, I think they did benefit. And I definitely could see them going on a run. And again, but it's so wide open. I truly don't think there's one team this year where you can say they're definitely going to win it. It's the same thing as regional, same thing as super regionals. It's truly wide open. And a team like Oregon State or a team like Murray State, who knows?
The great Jonathan Wagner from On3 joins us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. College World Series gets underway in Omaha tomorrow. Essentially, if it plays like we think, and it's going to be LSU and Arkansas, is that essentially determining who will be the national champ when if they meet before the championship series? I mean, is that sort of the de facto, in a way, national championship game, as sometimes you see in the Final Four in basketball, that one of the semifinals is the de facto championship?
I'm not sure if I see it that way, just because I do think, on the other side of the bracket, I think it's probably going to come down to Oregon State or Coastal Carolina, but I think both of those teams are capable of beating Arkansas or LSU. I think it's probably going to be a 3-game series, and it depends on the matchups for each one, but even a team like Coastal, I think Coastal is capable of beating whichever team they face when you get into the championship series. So, that's obviously going to be the headline of the early part, I think, is the Arkansas LSU opening game, which is going to be very fun out of the gates in game 1. But I truly think that one of those other two teams, Oregon State or Coastal on the other side, is just as capable of winning it all if they get there.
Zach Root started off really, really well. It looked like he was going to couch himself and position himself to be maybe the first left-handed pitcher taken in the draft. Struggled a little bit. Still might be the first lefty taken. But for those that maybe haven't paid attention to every single pitch of Zach Root, hate-watched him this year for Arkansas or what have you from Pirate Nation, what kind of year has Root had? And obviously Root made headlines with kind of his fiery reaction to the Super Regional against Tennessee.
Yeah, I think he has shown what he was known for at ECU, and that's big game Root. He loves the spotlight, and you saw it against Tennessee, obviously. He's not afraid of it. He's not afraid of, making people mad on the other side and, maybe pushing the line a little bit. But he's really good. And, he had a couple starts in SEC play where he struggled a little bit, but he bounced back really nicely. And now he's the guy on that Arkansas staff. So Zach Root is really good. He's not going to be top half of the first round pick, probably beyond that. There's a couple lefties ahead of him, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if he hears his name called in the back half of the first round or right there in the early, competitive balance rounds or second round pick.
Wags, let's talk about a couple of things that have happened in college baseball since, and then one thing in just the overall realm of college athletics. So, with North Carolina not making it, is that because I mean, at this time last week we were talking about they're sort of the prohibitive favorites to maybe win the whole thing. So, them being eliminated by Arizona, especially after just hammering the Wildcats in the first game, is that perhaps? I would say the biggest upset of the tournament because of all the SEC schools, the top 2 seeds getting eliminated in the regional. But of the super regional round, was that maybe the biggest upset, if you will?
Yeah, I think I'd be willing to say that just because of the fashion that it happened. It was, like you said, the first game, Carolina, really beat up on Arizona. And part of that is, Arizona gets down big. They don't throw their top arms the rest of the game, and it kind of gets out of hand from there. But still, UNC showed up in a big way in that first game, and then they lost a couple of tight ones. And the last one, going into the whatever inning it was, the 7th or 8th, Carolina was in the driver's seat and looked like they were on their way to Omaha again. And it just came down to a couple of defensive mishaps and a couple of bad pitches after that. And next thing you know, Arizona's on top and Arizona's dogpiling. So it was a big surprise just how it happened, because Carolina, you really saw they're missing a Matthew Mateus in that spot, not having a go-to guy at the bullpen to come into that, tight leverage spot late in the game. And they showed they were missing him, but that was definitely stunning. I feel for Jackson Vanderbrake because he put him in a position to get there, big year, bounce back year, but just a crucial error at the worst possible time.
Looks like that LSU has an assistant that's going to take over at Duke, and I understand when we said upset what Murray State has done, but I'm speaking from the standpoint Carolina looked like they had as clear a path to maybe win a national championship. It looked pretty complete. With that said, Duke, Chris Pollard has built that program. He goes to Virginia, where presumably he'll have more resources. The Cornell coach has been murmured as a possibility at Duke. There's an LSU assistant that has North Carolina ties that has been mentioned at Duke. Is Duke a good job in baseball?
Duke is a better job now than it was when Chris Pollard got there. It's still one of those things. I think it depends on how you look at it. For me, I really value the facilities part of it and what kind of stadium we're playing in. And they're not playing in a good one, so that's a big downside to that job. But if you get a guy in there, you get some momentum, and you can kind of, build off of that, then who knows? Maybe you make a regional, you make it to Omaha in your first couple of years under a new head coach, and you can maybe get some more support and, who knows, upgrade that stadium. But it's a solid job. And given the area, I think just the healthiness of the sport of baseball in the Carolinas, I think that helps as well. So, yeah, I think the LSU assistant will be a very good hire and a big-time hire. He's been thrown around for a lot of the top jobs this cycle. So that'd be a good spot for Duke to go, I think. And I think it's a good job, but probably not a great job as it currently stands, just for the reasons I mentioned.
Yeah. Obviously, the House decision came down last Friday, and that does create the rev share component. Who stands in the world of baseball to benefit the most from this? The SEC?
Yeah, I think, it's another one of those things you can look at it in a lot of different ways. And the SEC, obviously, I think, and the ACC and baseballs specifically, I think those two leagues are in a good spot to benefit. But if you look at it from the other side of the table, then you're going to have roster cuts, and you're down to 34 back how we were a while ago. And that means that these SEC teams aren't going to be able to just stockpile all these guys on their bench that could be starting anywhere else. And little do you know, they never started a game in their career, and they're getting drafted in the 10th round in the draft. A lot of those guys are going to be pushed out because you can't just stockpile and hope they turn into something for you. They're going to want to play. And I think a school like East Carolina could benefit from that a lot. And you have some of these higher profile recruits that just get edged out in a roster crunch. So it just depends on how you look at it. The easy answer is yes, the bigger leagues are going to benefit the most, but there's definitely some opportunity from the smaller dogs as well.
All right, who you got winning it all in Omaha? Who do you have? Well, who do you have winning it all?
I believe that the final series is going to come down to Arkansas and Coastal Carolina, and it's going to be a fun series. Ultimately, I do have Arkansas winning it. I just think this feels like their year for Dave Van Horn. He's a great guy, great coach, and it feels right for them. And from the ECU perspective, Colby Thorndike versus Zach Root would be a fun one as well. But I think it's going to be that's how I think it's going to happen. But we'll see, I guess.
The Coastal team and Zach Root, little chippiness would be in order if that were the case, because there's some chatty Caffies. There's some fan bases and some players that like to talk it up a little. Hey, Wags, thanks so much for doing this again. I really appreciate it. We'll talk to you again really soon, and have a great summer if we don't speak to you before we take our hiatus.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and it's been a very fun baseball season. I'm looking forward to Omaha, and I appreciate you guys having me on throughout the year.
Absolutely. Everything gets underway tomorrow. Jonathan Wagner from On3 joining us here. Yeah, I think, certainly however it plays out, and you got to win games, but Arkansas, LSU, winner of that might indeed be the national champ. Intriguing with Coastal on the other side. I kind of like this Arizona team with the way that they had obviously played and responded after getting just boat raced by the Tar Heels last Friday. So we will see. Should be a lot of fun. The Oregon State's obviously a fantastic team, and we all know the Murray State story is compelling, although I don't think their stay is going to be terribly long, but you don't know. It's been a very unpredictable postseason for sure. Okay, we've got Concert on the Common tonight, and we're going to check in with Mark Miller, our friend, out at the Town Common, get you set up for that, which is coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. It is a free concert available or open to the public, absolutely free, no coolers. They'll be selling all kinds of beverages down there and great food trucks. So Mark Miller will talk that, maybe a little Philly sports chatter as well with the one and only Mark Miller. But right now, here is Dom Kasulki. He has a 94.3 The Game Sports Update and Pirate Report. Dom.
Thank you, Patrick. Your Pirate Report and sports updates, starting with the first Blue Marlin of the 67th Annual Big Rock Tournament has been officially weighed. Bankwalker's Big Blue weighed in at 449.7 pounds. Angler Lizzie Montague, a Carteret County native, fought the fish for nearly 3 hours. Fish brought into the weigh station at Big Rock Landing just before 9 o'clock Wednesday night. While it didn't win the 500-pound Fabulous Fisherman prize, it is in the first place right now for the tournament because it is the only blue marlin weighed so far. No blues have been weighed today as of last check at Big Rock Landing. The Indiana Pacers and OKC Thunder tipped off for Game 3 last night in Indiana. The two teams split in Oklahoma, and Game 3 was another interesting game. The Pacers came out with a lot more aggression than Game 2, and that built them a small 4-point lead at halftime. By the end of the third quarter, the Thunder took over with a 5-point lead, but the fourth quarter is go time for the Pacers, as we've seen all postseason long. Tonight was no different. Pacers outscored the Thunder 32-18 in the fourth for a Game 3 victory and final score of 116-107. Stanley Cup Game 4 coming your way tonight at 8. The Edmonton Oilers face the Panthers in Florida, with the Panthers leading the series 2-1. PGA Tour started today through Sunday, and at the moment, checking the leaderboard, Sungjae Im and JJ Spawn, both 4 under, and tied for third is Matthew Pavone and Rasmus Nergård Peterson. So a close start, and that'll do it for your Patrick Johnson Show, Pirate Report, and Sports Update. Let's go talk with Mark Miller after this quick break on 94.3 The Game.
Hey, it's Jim Wells again with Wells Roofing and Gutters here in the beautiful community of Lindale, Bedford. At Wells Roofing and Gutters, we believe in quality first, and that's why we use CertainTeed shingles, which are manufactured in Oxford, North Carolina, a local company. In the event you ever do have a claim or a problem with your roof system, they're local and they come and take care of us in a timely manner. We could leave off some accessories and we could certainly save money, but we believe at Wells Roofing and Gutters and install in the correct way per manufacturer requirements. And we warranty your roof both in-house and also with our supplier, who is CertainTeed. For a job Wells done, no shortcuts taken, and a good quality job on your home, give us a call today, 252-227-8403. We also offer finance in 12 months, no interest, no payments.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Who's talking now?
Sorry, thought we were vibing.
The Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
All right, concert on the Common going on tonight down in Greenville, up in Greenville, and it is taking place down at the Town Common, Greenville Toyota Amphitheater. There'll be a big announcement tonight. Craig Goaz from Greenville Toyota will have a big announcement in the name of a contribution to the Children's Hospital in Greenville, so that's a really cool thing. One guy who is very involved in the charity of the Children's Hospitals, the great Mark Miller. Of course, our radiothons have raised over $4 million over the years for the Children's Hospital. The award-winning Mark Miller back with us.
Yo.
Damn right you're live, Miller. Damn right. Mark Miller back with us from 107.9. Who's
Look,
talking to you, Miller, while you're...
I got adoring
okay.
throngs, man. The adoring throngs of people. What can I do?
Well, look, it's your public. This is Miller's second appearance on the show in less than a week. He can barely contain his excitement, I'm sure. All right, so this time last week we had the rain, and that
Right.
prevented the postponement or precipitated the postponement of the concert, but it is made up tonight, which I think is amazing because this is such a hot band. I'm surprised they had this opening as quickly as they did, but they worked it out. Landslide, a tribute to Fleetwood Mac, and really the weather's cooperating. It's not that bad out there.
Let's just knock on wood with that assumption there. We got a lot of people coming out here. People don't care about the clouds in the sky right now. And if there is anything, we're hoping it's going to be a very quick sell. But I'm thinking we're looking okay. We got the fingers crossed on the weather. We got a great band, and we are very fortunate that they were able to reschedule so quickly because this band puts on quite the show. It was 2 years ago that they came last, and it was one of the most memorable ones in the years and years of concerts on the Common that we've done. They are terrific, right? Like if you're gonna do Fleetwood Mac, you got to have a good Stevie Nicks. And what I remember from Landslide, they had a really good Stevie Nicks, and they absolutely knock it out of the park. And they're gonna have a great time tonight. We got food trucks everywhere. We got drinks all over the place. we got, as you said, a very special moment coming up at intermission. And, I mean, we're not getting into specifics just yet, but we can say with certainty, what I'm saying is a lot of people are sitting down in chairs. There will be a standing ovation, like a massive standing ovation with what's going to happen.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Craig Goes will make an announcement at the intermission, and if you're going out tonight, you will certainly want to hear what that is. The award-winning Mark Miller from the Morning Rush, WNCT 107.9, Mark and Laura in the mornings is with us here. Got to see both Mark and Laura.
You should do our jingle. That was really good, actually. You should do the jingle next time.
So it's a little play off of Community. You know, when they did it, it's a play on that. Mark and Laura in the mornings. I'll be happy to record it and send it to you. All right.
That's good.
Here's the great thing that we want to emphasize. This is a free concert. We have wonderful sponsors. Many of them are out there. We have food trucks with some delicious eats out there. I think Dank Burrito may even be out there.
I caught a glimpse of him when I was coming in. You are correct about that. Yes.
All right. Well, see, there you go. Dank Burrito. That's good stuff right there. So there's food trucks of all kinds. There's beverages of all kinds from Minji's Bottling and from our beer sponsors as well. So there is plenty of refreshment. Do not bring a cooler, but bring chairs, enjoy the night, and enjoy the music. And this, again, Miller, tell the folks, absolutely free concert. And there's plenty of parking this time of year, too.
Plenty of parking. You can get around easy. You can get to your spot. There's plenty of lawn area for everyone to sit down and enjoy themselves tonight. The music really is the thing, though, and people know it. People come out for this show. It's not just that Fleetwood Mac wrote amazing songs and have such a catalog, right, that it's going to be 2 hours of great music, but they do a tremendous job as a band covering these Fleetwood Mac songs. And we're excited for it, man. We got some concert tickets we'll be giving away. I do believe we have Bryan Adams and Pat Benatar tickets to give away, which should be about an hour from now when we'll give them away. We'll get some. We got a country show too, Billy Currington and Kip Moore. All concerts that are coming up. People are registering for them, saying hello at the tent. Love to see some of the game listeners stop over and say hello. We can talk sports, as I love to do, and we're gonna have ourselves a good time.
All right, let me ask you a couple sports questions here, if I may, Miller.
Okay, fire when ready, sir.
I know this is not in your city. This is on the opposite end of the state that you grew up in. But Aaron Rodgers signs with the Steelers. What is?
Yeah.
I can't wait for this reaction. You were laughing already. Give me the reaction to Aaron
you know, Rodgers
signing as now a Steeler.
I follow a lot of Pittsburgh sports writers. I grew up in Philly, but I went to University of Pittsburgh.
Right.
And
yeah,
boy, this is
we know.
It's not being It's not being met with like pure excitement. I'll tell you that. A lot of my old roommates and friends from Pittsburgh who are huge Steeler fans are kind of wondering, like, first of all, did he kind of hold them hostage by just like not making a decision for so long through the draft too, which is kind of like maybe they already had something worked out. I don't know. He's a 41-year-old quarterback. Is it just to put butts in seats? Maybe. How good are they going to be? I don't know. I don't feel super confident for them. But look, who cares? I mean, the championship trophy resides on the other side of the state, my friend. I believe that's all that matters.
The thing I think about it is you probably should have come up with if you're going to do a gap year kind of thing, you should have come up with something a little more. I think this is. Yeah, I don't know if you want to get in the Aaron Rodgers business. That just seems very un-Steelers like to me. That you would get into the Aaron Rodgers business in a way. I don't know. It just something doesn't sit right with that. And to me, you have a great defense. Try to get things straight. You've made some moves offensively. Use this year to shore things up. Because, I mean, Tomlin's not going anywhere. I think,
Right. And if it doesn't work out, they've got this great defense, and they got a high draft pick in what's supposed to be a really good quarterback draft next year, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say.
I mean, that's the silver lining. If you're going to do this sort of gap year, 1 year fix thing, I just don't know if you do it with Rodgers. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I would absolutely agree with that.
To me, it's the apple's not worth the bite in a sense. All right, Miller, we always talk Philly sports with you, but you are also a fanatical college sports fan. You went to Pitt, in case anybody has missed that memo. Jeez. And then Miller, to his credit, is a huge ECU, particularly ECU baseball fan. Miller roots for the Pirates, but he loves some ECU baseball. So the House decision last Friday to allow athletes to be paid in rev share. Look, I think we can all agree the spirit of it is good. If the athletes are generating the revenue, they should get a piece of the action. But this is a far cry from the college world that you and I grew up rooting for.
No, it absolutely is, man. And you know, this didn't help, I guess, you know, the little guy, as it were, in any way, shape, or form. Not that I think anybody was expecting it to. And if this is a solution, a lot more work needs to be done, I would have to say. Schools like East Carolina, right? I mean, where does that leave us?
Well, you know, I think the degree of rev share is going to be different. I mean, the ones that generate the most revenue are going to be able to share the most revenue. And at East Carolina, you're going to have to be creative with that. And other schools in the Americans committed to it, but gosh, at some point, doesn't the money have to run out and all this stuff? I mean, there's got to be a ceiling on everything.
Yeah, I don't know. There's the coffers are deep, my friend.
We need some of those coffers to spill over into the radio world then.
Yeah.
All right, the great Mark Miller with us here. All right, Miller, we've got tremendous music tonight. Give us the hard sell on tonight's concert on the Common.
Okay, well, the hard sell is that I just moved under the tent for a brief shower, but hopefully this will pass and we will be ready to go. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention in the last segment. I was running for my life. But it will pass, and we will hopefully have a show to give you here in a couple of minutes. This is Landslide, a tribute to Fleetwood Mac, and they are a tremendous band, a great opportunity to get out here and see some live music and just enjoy everything the Concert on the Common season gives you. And now I mean literally everything, including elements. So
it's a respite.
Maybe it will be very quick. Hey, Philip, how long is it supposed to last?
Small cell.
Okay.
Yeah, small cell.
Boy.
It's a small cell. It'll be out of here quickly. They'll get the show started. Yeah, small cell. Small cell.
Yeah,
all right, Miller. Nothing like live radio. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah. Hold on. Hey, man, I'll talk to you later. I got to get going.
All right, there he goes, Mark Miller. He is the award-winning Mark Miller. There he goes. The rain will be brief. It will be a short-lived rain shower, so that is the good news about that. All right, some news and notes from today. We'll have that for you when we come back, and also update you on anything going on at the Big Rock. Look at the U.S. Open leaderboard, all of that when we come back, and wrap up today's edition of the Patrick Johnson Show, so stay tuned.
Your roof is a vital part of protecting your home and family from dangerous storms and hurricanes. At Assist Roofing, we install and maintain metal roofing that provides precise protection. Add value to your home while lowering utility costs with a fortified roof to last a lifetime. With 0% financing, grants, and Energy Star Green Roofing tax credit available. Call us to schedule a free consultation so you can weather any storm with confidence.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in color. and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
If you are interested in living longer and living stronger, Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine is accepting new patients for a limited time. Finding a caring physician can be a challenge. Dr. Billy Smith is board certified in physical medicine and lifestyle medicine and has been practicing in the area for many years. Call for an appointment now to Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine, 252-364-1108 in Greenville. That number again is 252-364-1108.
Looking for a great deal on a new Nissan?
At Greenville Nissan, we've got a great selection of new Nissans for under $30,000.
The stylish Nissan Sentra, offering top-notch fuel economy. The Nissan Altima, known for its comfort and technology.
The Nissan Kicks, the perfect combination with its compact design and performance. The Nissan Versa, delivering incredible value without compromising on features. And don't forget the Nissan Rogue, an award winner for 10 years in a row. Drive it home just for $22 down and $349 a month.
Visit GreenvilleNissan.com today.
Greenville Nissan, where we drive to serve.
And now, the stunning conclusion.
Why is everyone screaming?
On 94.3 The Game.
Okay, welcome back. We've got final few minutes here. Tomorrow on the program, Commissioner of the American, Tim Pernetti, an interview that we did earlier today. We'll have it for you for the radio audience tomorrow in its entirety, so looking forward to that. Also, if you want to catch the interview before, we've got it up on our social medias and video platforms, so you could check it out there. Thanks to Mark Miller for being on with us. Thanks to Jonathan Wagner for being on with us today. Right now, J.J. Spaun leading by a shot over a quartet of golfers, a couple who are still out on the course, 3 of them, in fact, who are still out on the course at the U.S. Open at Oakmont Country Club up in suburban Pittsburgh. J.J. Spaun, 4 under, and then you have Tristan Lawrence at 3 under after firing an opening round 67. He is in a second-place tie with Sam Burns, Sungjae Im, and Rasmus Nygaard Peterson, all 3 under. Top 6, there are 3 that are tied right now for 6th place. Siwoo Kim, Cameron Young, and John Rahm, all 2 under. And then you have a bunch of golfers, T9, 1 under. They include Patrick Reed, Jordan Spieth, among them Ben Griffin, also among those. Cameron, we already told you Cameron Young at 2 under. Our guy Brian Mull posting, he does not think anybody in the top 7 are going to win the tournament. You know, maybe, and he may have just fallen out. Rahm. Maybe Rahm, 2 under, has a shot. But really, anybody else on that leaderboard, I don't think. Maybe Patrick Reed, maybe. Jordan Spieth off to a good start, but I can't. Spieth just, outside of that run he had a couple of, more than a decade ago now, it seems, close to a decade ago. I can't see him making a run and picking up a victory. Who knows, though? Patrick Reed, same thing. Maybe, though, but those guys are off to good starts as they are currently out there on the Inward 9. But really, any names other than maybe Rahm on there, I don't see being there when we get to the thing coming up on Sunday. I'd be shocked if any of them are up there. And that 4 is kind of precarious. It is a really, really tough course out there today. Was looking at the Big Rock. They've weighed a bunch of dolphins, weighed some wahoo. So nothing has been brought in. I don't know if they're waiting presently to get someone in to weigh a marlin, but from what I see, not seeing where that is the case, where there's a blue that's being brought in. The last check of a couple hours ago was that a blue had been released. That was the last update from there. So a couple of blues released within the last 2.5 hours. So that's kind of where we are on that. So tomorrow we will be aboard the Acquisition. Henry will be on Talk of the Town as our Big Rock coverage. Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament coverage continues from Morehead City. I'll be on the show. It'll be very small cameos tomorrow, Dom. I really doubt there'll be a lot of PJ on there unless everything goes to holy hell. But hopefully it will not.
Usually not too much with remotes anyways.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Dom. I'm just shoving my face in it.
Oh, no, I know you don't mind it.
I think we're going to lose.
Come on, Dom.
Come on, I don't think that anymore. You know that.
I know where we rank. I know where the old PJ show and old PJ ranks in this hierarchy, Dom. I don't need you to shove my face in it. I'm well aware.
What are you talking about?
I'm well aware that I'm way down on the list. Even on our own station here, I'm well aware of that. Come on, Dom. I don't need you to rub my face in it, my fat face in it. Come on, Dom.
I wasn't rubbing anything in your face. I was just saying that remotes, he has a lot of guests, and that you get kind of a show off. I mean, you get to do sports and news, but not too much cameo.
I get short shrifted. Like today, it's like, hey, we're going to talk to you in the first segment, and I got maybe 3 words in, which is no different than normally most segments.
Well, I don't work the normal ones, so I wouldn't know that. I thought you talked a lot during the normal ones. I was just saying the remotes. Remotes, get a little time off. Nothing wrong with that. Get ahead of work.
Yeah, maybe so. That'll be the plan tomorrow. TGIF for tomorrow. All right, Tim Pernetti will be with us tomorrow, Commissioner of the American, plus other news and notes. Dom, you got a game tonight or tomorrow?
Nope, Saturday and Sunday.
Okay,
got a couple days off.
Check out the Tarboro River Bandits, where Dom Kasolki is the Suki smooth voice of that. Dom, great job today. Hope we'll see you soon. Have a great rest of the evening. Concert on the Common still on. The shower will blow through. And great music from Landslide tonight. See you in the morning on Talk of the Town. Back here for the PJ Show tomorrow.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer